Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Get Real with Real Estate with your favorite real estate agent, aside from John of course and the rest of the team, but Melissa Steele with Team Steele San Diego Homes. I'm excited to talk to you guys today about repairs and our property sold as is. I was in a buyer's meeting with a client just a couple days ago and he was like, I read something online that said that properties are sold as is. What does that mean? And what if I find a repair? And this is a very valid question from both a seller and a buyer's perspective. Are properties actually sold as is? By law, yes. Technically, properties are sold as is, which means that the seller does not have to, he's not forced into doing any repairs. However, from a buyer's perspective, let's say you're buying a property, and yes, all properties convey as is, right? But we've seen everything, we know it needs new countertops and new carpets, but we write our offer expecting the property to be amazing in every other way as well, right? As a buyer, that's what we're expecting. We are hoping that when we write our offer, that we are very much offering on the home as we know it, right? The seller has not disclosed to us that there's any major issues within the home. We're hoping that it looks as good beneath the surface as it does on the surface. So just walking you through this example, let's say we go through the home inspection process, and in addition to finding out that not only are the cosmetic repairs of the countertops and the rugs that we want to replace, we have now found some roofing issues or some plumbing issues. Well, I'm not a plumber, I'm not a roofer, and I know you as my buyer are not a plumber or a roofer either. And I can pretty much guarantee, sometimes I have buyers who are like, how did the sellers not tell us these things? Do you think that they were trying to pull one over on us? No, because in most instances, I would say sellers are not scoping their sewer lines and getting their roofs checked out unless that something actually needs fixing, like unless maybe it started leaking last winter when it was raining. Those are really the only reasons as a seller that you would be looking into things around your home. Think of when you have owned property yourself. You may not have been scoping the sewer lines looking for clogs because we don't really do that as homeowners. We maintain the things that come up. So when a home buyer is doing their due diligence, working with a very thorough home inspector, ideally looking to find every single thing within the home that might be an issue, whether that be plumbing, roofing, foundation, anything that we can't see and decipher with our own eyes, and even some of the things that we expect to see. Like a lot of times I joke with clients walking up to a house with no railings on either side. I'm like, oh, this would show up on the home inspection. Because up to today's safety standard codes, the home inspector would want there to be railings on the side of the stairway. So, with this particular lesson, an example, let's say we found the roof issues and the plumbing issues. Well, while properties are always sold as is, a buyer does always have an opportunity, unless they waive it, which not many buyers do, to do their due diligence, do a home inspection, and they are subject to submit a request for repairs. So every buyer has the opportunity to submit what's called a request for repairs. And that request for repairs, as long as it is typically very reasonable, like asking for the things that are broken and not considered upgrades. For example, a hot water heater maybe isn't working effectively and needs to be fixed. That would be a valid request on a request for repairs. But asking for it to be replaced because it's old, not a valid request. That's considered an upgrade, right? Replacing an appliance that still works and functions, but that you just want a new one on. That would be very much a consideration for an upgrade versus a repair. Nothing's technically broken. So as long as your request for repairs is very reasonable, it's often something that your agent should be able to negotiate for you on your behalf. And the listing agent will typically negotiate with the buyer's agent, and they will come up with an agreement that feels really good to both parties, hopefully. And in most cases, it's ideally a compromise. I just had a transaction actually that I'm working on right now. And just to kind of use it as an example, the home itself looks great on the surface. It's an awesome property. I'm actually like really excited for my clients, and when we were checking it out, we noticed some cracking in the garage area, and John and I actually mentioned it to the clients, and we were like, I think this is going to be called out on home inspection. we may need a foundation specialist or an engineer as part of our due diligence. So right from the very get-go, first day we looked at the property, John and I noticed some cracking in the garage, and we ultimately wanted to make sure that that cracking was just cosmetic and nothing else really serious. So we advised that client to get their home inspection. They got an amazing home inspection with one of our great providers, and they found out that yes, the home inspector would also recommend a foundation expert, and he also recommended a what else did we get on that? Oh, a roofing provider to come out because there were some roof issues notated. So we got a roofer to come out in addition to our home inspector, and we had an engineer come out to check on the foundation. We submitted a request to the sellers because we didn't know about the roof and the foundation before we submitted our offer. No way. We had seen that minimal cracking, but we didn't know what the issues were. So our client did all of their due diligence. They did everything that they'd have to do. We negotiated and strategized, and even though there were some smaller repairs on the home inspection report, we wanted to make sure that we were focusing on the most important things, which in this case is the foundation and the roof. Sellers ended up coming back to us verbally at $1,500. I told them no, it wasn't going to cut it and that they should take a hike. We had asked for $3,500 of a credit and some repairs to be made. So they responded to us saying, we're not going to do any of your repairs, but we'll offer you $1,500. I said, that's not going to work for my client. We refuse that. If you offer that to us, we will walk. And just actually heard back a little while ago, and I'm hoping for some paperwork soon that has the seller offering us $5,000 for not only the repairs that we asked for, but for the other work that was outlined. So that should be a good amount to help cover the work that our client is committing to take on as the new buyer in this home. So even though our buyer very much agreed to and was fully aware of the fact that homes in California and in a lot of states across the United States do sell as is, and that the seller is not obligated to make any repairs, we were able to strategize, work through her due diligence, and really guide her through a process which has now netted her $5,000 in her pocket to be able to work on those repairs that we found during the home inspection. So hopefully she'll have more than enough funds to do the small fixes that we found within the home, do the few fixings to the roof that need to be done, and repair those cracks that we found in the foundational wall so they can truly get into a solid home, not only on the surface where it looks beautiful, but underneath where the eye doesn't necessarily meet as well. So I feel really good about it. If you guys are looking for guidance through this process, I know it can seem so overwhelming. You're like, where do I even start? Let alone know what to do with my request for repairs. Reach out. We would absolutely love to help you. We help people nationwide through their real estate transactions, whether it be buying, selling, or investing. And we're even starting to work with some clients worldwide too. One of our recent clients just closed on a property here in San Diego, sight unseen, from Spain. So, and actually that was like almost a year ago now. It's not even, time just flies. But we are here and happy to help you with whatever it is that you need. We really work worldwide. We are happy to hop on a video call regardless of your location. But would love to connect with you guys and see if we could support you through the request for repair process on your transaction as well. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great rest of your day.